Hello and welcome back to Daily English Upgrade. Today, we have a special story for you, a story about a young farmer and the great lesson he learned about patience and slow progress. It is a story that can change how you feel about learning English. Have you ever felt frustrated when you try to learn something new? You study for 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, and you think, why am I not improving faster? You look at others who speak very well and you ask yourself, when will I be like them? If you have felt this way, please listen carefully today, because this is the story of Elias. Elias was a young man. He lived in a small, beautiful village. This village was famous for its rich, dark soil and its tall, strong trees. Elias loved to work with his hands. He loved the sun. He loved the land. He wanted to be the best farmer in his village. He was hardworking, but he was not patient. Elias had a big dream, a very big dream. He wanted to grow the biggest, most beautiful pumpkin in the whole country, not just a small pumpkin, but a giant one. He wanted to win the village's annual harvest competition. In the springtime, Elias went to the market. He bought a small packet of special, expensive pumpkin seeds. The old seed seller gave him the packet and smiled. He said, "These are the best seeds, young man. They have great potential, but remember one thing, nature does not rush." Elias thanked him. He was too excited to listen to the old man's advice. He rushed back to his farm. He chose the best spot in his field. He dug the soil. He placed the seeds carefully into the ground. He covered them with earth. He watered them generously. He felt a huge sense of satisfaction. The next day, Elias woke up very early. He rushed to the field. He looked at the soil. Nothing. He looked again. He waited. Still nothing. He felt disappointed. He talked to himself. I used the best soil. I gave the best water. Why is the seed not growing? He waited one more day. The second morning he ran to the field. He knelt down. He looked closely at the spot where the seed was planted. The soil looked the same. It was flat. It was silent. Elias started to feel very impatient. He began to worry. He thought, maybe the seed is broken. Maybe the soil is not good enough. Maybe I am doing something wrong. He had a thought, a bad idea which came from his impatience. I must check the seed. I must see if it is still there. I must see if it is trying to grow. So very gently Elias began to dig. He used his finger to push away the dirt. He found the small seed. It was soft. It was starting to grow a very tiny white root. He pulled it out. He looked at it. Ah, it is growing, he said. But then he felt bad. The root was now exposed to the air. The seed was no longer safe in the dark, warm soil. He quickly put it back, covered it with soil, and gave it extra water. But the damage was done. The seed was disturbed. Its slow, secret work underground had been interrupted. It was a small action, but it had a big consequence. Elias continued his habit. Every few days he became impatient again. He wanted to see progress. He wanted a sign. He wanted to see a leaf. He wanted to see the big pumpkin today, not tomorrow. He would dig up the seed a little. He would check the root. He would look at the little shoot. Then he would quickly put it back. 1 week passed, 2 weeks passed. The seeds of his neighbors were now sending up green shoots. You could see small, new plants appearing everywhere in the village. But Elias' patch of soil was empty. It was still flat. It was still silent. He became sad. He felt like a failure. He thought, I work harder than anyone. I am so focused on my goal. Why are my seeds not growing? He went to visit the old seed seller again. The old man was sitting outside his shop cleaning a basket of beans. Elias sat down next to him, his head low. Mister, Elias started, my seeds, the pumpkin seeds you sold me. They are not growing. I have waited 2 weeks. Everything is wrong. The old man did not look up immediately. He continued to clean his beans. He was calm. Tell me, Elias, the old man said finally, looking at the young man with kind eyes. Tell me exactly what you have been doing. Do not leave out any detail. Elias explained everything, the best soil, the generous water, the great care he took, and then he told the old man about checking the seeds. He told him about digging them up to see the progress. I just wanted to make sure they were trying, Elias finished. I wanted to see the proof. The old man smiled. It was a gentle, knowing smile. Ah, Elias, he said, now I know the problem. You gave the seed attention, but you did not give it trust. What do you mean trust? Elias asked. He did not understand. Think about it, the old man continued. The seed does its most important work in the dark. In the silence, the seed must break its shell, it must send a root down to find water, it must build a small inner strength before it is ready to face the sun. This work cannot be seen, you must only wait and believe. Every time you dug up the seed, you asked it to stop its important work, you forced it to show you its weakness, its small, new effort. Before it was ready, you made it start again. Growth, Elias, is like a secret. It happens slowly where you cannot see it. You must be patient and trust the process. Elias felt a moment of shame, but then he felt a moment of great understanding. He thought about his English learning. He thought about the small, secret work his brain was doing every day. He realized his mistake. He was always trying to dig up the seed. He was always checking his progress too early. He was always asking, am I better today? Did I learn 10 new words? He was not allowing his knowledge to grow in the dark in the quiet moments of practice. He was interrupting his own learning with his impatience. So what should I do now? Elias asked the old man. You have two choices, the old man replied. First, you can plant a new seed and change your behavior. Or, second, you can learn the deeper lesson. You can learn that progress is not a straight line. It is a hidden, winding route that travels deep before it ever comes up to the light. Elias chose the first option. He decided to plant a new seed. He returned home immediately with a new packet of seeds. He found a new patch of soil. This time he only did two things. He planted the seeds and he covered them completely. Then he made a promise to himself. He would not look, he would not dig, he would only wait, he would only water, he would only trust. He went to work on other parts of his farm. He focused on his bean plants. He focused on cleaning his barn. He focused on things that gave him immediate results to keep his mind busy. He practiced waiting. 1 week passed. Elias felt the strong urge to look. He fought the feeling. He said to himself, the work is happening in the dark, I must trust the process. 2 weeks passed. He felt a little scared. Was he making a mistake again? He fought the fear. He said, I have planted the seed, I have watered the soil, my job is finished, the rest is nature's job. He was practicing patience, not just for his seeds but for his own mind. He learned to be comfortable with not knowing. Then, one morning on the start of the 3rd week, Elias walked to the edge of his new pumpkin patch to give it water, and he stopped. He looked down. He saw something small and green pushing through the soil. Elias decided to plant a new seed and promised himself that he would not dig it up to check the progress. He would only water it and trust that the work was happening secretly underground. He saw something small and green pushing through the soil. It was a tiny, perfect leaf. It was not a big plant, but it was there. It was proof of the secret, slow work. Elias did not rush to dig it up. He did not rush to pull it. He simply smiled. He watered it gently and he walked away. He let the plant have its silence. Elias' lesson was now his new habit. He understood that the early stages of growth need protection. They need darkness. They need trust. Now let us think about your English learning. This story has many secrets for you. The first secret is, do not dig up your learning too soon. What does digging up your learning mean in English? It means you learn a new word. The word is potential, for example. You study it. You use it one time. Then the next day you try to remember it. If you cannot remember it immediately, you feel bad. You think, I am failing. You are digging up the seed. You are forcing your brain to show you the result before the root is strong. Your brain is like Elias' soil. It needs time to process the new information. The root of the word needs to grow down into your long-term memory. This process happens when you are not actively thinking about the word. It happens when you are sleeping. It happens when you are listening to other English. The goal is not to remember one word for 1 minute. The goal is to remember it for 1 year, for life. This requires patience and trust in your brain. When you feel impatient, you should say to yourself, I have done the work, I have planted the seed, now I water it and I wait. The second secret is about the need for darkness. When the seed is in the dark, it focuses all its energy on building the root. The outside world does not see this work, but it is the most important work. Your English learning also needs darkness. What is the darkness? The darkness is quiet listening. The darkness is reading a simple book without checking every single word. The darkness is trying to speak to a friend without worrying about your mistakes. In the darkness, you let your brain connect the dots. You let the grammar rules become natural. You let the sentence structure become a feeling, not a rule you must remember. When you are listening to this video, you are in the darkness. You are just listening. You are just absorbing the rhythm. You are not writing notes. You are not stopping the video every second. You are letting the language wash over you. This kind of deep, calm input is essential. It is the secret work that builds your confidence. You must trust that your brain is working hard even when you cannot see the result immediately. Do not be afraid of the quiet time. Elias kept watering his plant. He had planted his second seed late, so he knew he might not win the harvest competition this year, but he was no longer worried about the winning. He was focused on the growth. He understood something important. The biggest plant does not always come from the first seed. It comes from the seed that is allowed to grow without interruption. He also learned to focus on his other tasks. When he felt the urge to check the pumpkin, he would go and work on his bean plants instead. This gave him small, immediate victories. This is the third secret for you. Find small victories every day. When you learn English, you must also have small, immediate victories to keep your motivation high. For example, maybe you cannot speak perfectly yet. That is the big pumpkin, the long-term goal. Do not focus on that all the time. Instead, focus on your bean plants. What are your bean plants? Maybe your small victory today is to listen to 5 minutes of an English podcast without stopping. Maybe your small victory is to write 3 simple sentences in English to your friend. Maybe it is to learn one new, easy phrase like, I appreciate that. These are your bean plants. They give you a quick result. They show you, yes, I am making progress. I am a successful learner. These small victories give you the energy to continue waiting for your big pumpkin for the day you can speak English fluently. So, remember this important cycle. Plant the seed, which means you study or listen. Water the seed, which means you practice regularly. Do not dig it up, which means you trust the process and do not check your progress too often. And focus on your bean plants, which means you celebrate small, daily successes. Elias watched his pumpkin grow. It was small at first, just a few green leaves. Then it grew stronger. It sent out long, green vines. It started to take up more space in the field. The leaves became bigger, offering shade to the young fruit. He noticed that the pumpkin was not growing bigger every day. Some days it seemed the same size, but then, after a few days, he would look again and it would be significantly bigger. This is the nature of progress. It is not a straight line up. It is a series of steps and pauses. Your English ability is the same. Maybe you study new grammar rules for 1 week. You feel confused. You feel you are getting worse, not better. This is a pause. But during this pause, your brain is organizing the new rules. It is connecting them to the old knowledge. Then suddenly one day you say a perfect sentence naturally. You understand a complex video easily. This is the step, the sudden growth. Do not stop during the pause. The pause is necessary for the step. The pause is the time the plant is building its inner strength. Elias continued this new way of farming. He was patient, he was calm, he trusted the soil, he trusted his hard work. His pumpkin was now getting very big. It was not the biggest in the village, but it was healthy, it was round, it was a beautiful orange color. The old seed seller came by the field one afternoon. He looked at Elias' pumpkin, he looked at the other farmers' pumpkins, he smiled. Elias, the old man said, your pumpkin is not the largest, but it is the strongest, it has the deepest root, it will last the longest. Ugh. How do you know? Elias asked. Because, the old man replied, you finally learned the difference between rushing and growing. Rushing makes things weak, growing makes them strong. Elias had lost the chance to win the competition that year, but he had won something much more important. He had won patience and wisdom. This wisdom would make him a great farmer for his entire life. This is what we want for your English journey. We do not want you to learn quickly for 1 month and then give up because you are frustrated. We want you to learn slowly, surely, deeply, so that your English stays with you for your whole life. We want your English to be the strongest, not just the quickest. So today, let us review some of the most important words we used in Elias' story. These words are important for your learning journey and for speaking English well. Elias learned that the biggest plant does not come from the first seed, but from the seed that is allowed to grow without interruption, teaching him the powerful lesson of patience and trust in the process. So today, let us review some of the most important words we used in Elias' story. These words are important for your learning journey and for speaking English well. We will look at 4 key words that help you understand the lesson of the pumpkin seed. The first word is patience, P-A-T-I-E-N-C-E. Patience means the ability to wait for a long time without becoming angry or upset. Elias was not patient when he first planted the seeds. He was patient after he talked to the old man. If you are learning English, you must have patience. Do not expect to speak perfectly in 1 week. Say to yourself, I have patience, I will wait for my great results. The second word is frustrated, F-R-U-S-T-R-A-T-E-D. To feel frustrated means to feel annoyed or upset because you cannot change or achieve something. Elias felt frustrated when his seeds did not grow immediately. When you cannot remember a word or you cannot understand a new grammar rule, you may feel frustrated. Remember, this feeling is normal, but you must not let frustration make you stop. If you feel frustrated, take a short break, then try again. The third word is trust, T-R-U-S-D. Trust means to believe that something is good, reliable, and honest. Elias needed to trust the soil, he needed to trust the seed, he needed to trust the process of nature. You must trust your own brain, trust that the hours you spend listening to English are working, trust that your brain is making connections. You do not need to check your progress every day, just keep practicing and trust the good work you are doing. The final word is progress, P-R-O-G-R-E-S-S. Progress means to move forward toward a goal, it is movement toward a better state. Elias was only happy when he saw big, fast progress, but the old man taught him that progress is often hidden. Your progress in English is happening right now, even if you do not feel it. Every word you listen to is a small step of progress. Every sentence you try to speak is a big step of progress. Remember, progress is not a straight line. Now let us think about the lesson of the story. The lesson is simple: great things take time. The fastest growth is often the weakest growth. The strongest roots grow slowly in the darkness with patience. Your English journey is not a race. It is not a competition against your friends or against other learners. Your journey is only a competition against your own impatience. When you feel like giving up, remember Elias, remember that seed he kept digging up. Do not dig up your own learning. Keep the faith, keep the work quiet, keep the practice regular. Just water your seed every day, listen, read, speak a little, and trust the process. One day you will look up and you will see the big, strong, beautiful plant that you have grown. You will speak clearly, you will understand everything, and you will not even remember when the first tiny leaf appeared. This is the power of patience and consistency. So, my friends, I hope this story gives you new strength for your studies. I hope you will stop being so hard on yourself. Be like the great farmer Elias, be patient. Thank you for watching Daily English Upgrade. If you loved this story and you learned a new word today, please do two things for us. First, like this video, hitting the like button helps us know that you enjoy these stories. It helps us make more videos for you. Second, subscribe to our channel. Subscribing means you will never miss a lesson, a story, or a new step in your journey to speaking better English. And finally, I have a challenge for you. In the comments below, write one sentence using the word patience to describe your English learning goal. For example, I will use patience to learn 5 new words every week. We love reading your sentences. It is a great way to practice. Go out there, speak well, speak clearly, and remember the farmer's seed of patience. We will see you next time.